We're going to try similar testing with a cow bone this time. Mm-hmm. So far, so good. Still looking nice. So far, so good. No damage. Bone has taken some damage. Do some stabbing.
I think I flattened it a little bit.
It actually showed up a little bit flat.
Really, like that? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, tip showed up just barely flat.
I brought it out of the thing.
Worked it loose from the vise.
One more stab, just to see. Isn't that bone really good?
Alright, still got a usable tip, despite not showing up with much of a tip. Do you want to try sawing the bone at all?
Yeah. Didn't even think about it, to be honest. Let's try in the groove that I already made. That's significantly harder to do than wood, but as you can see, I got a little bit of an indentation on the top there.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not as fruitful.
It definitely did a little bit more wear on here than the wood did. Kind of noticeable.
Huh. Kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but that's
Yeah,
alright. We'll go over it after and look at it. Let's see. Do you have anything we could use to maybe try and batten it through the bone?
Like hit it?
Yeah, like rest the blade against it and then hit it with something to hammer it through.
Should be a rubber mallet.
Should actually be able to use this.
Okay. You want to do this as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we could do it to wood, but might as well skip ahead. Wait, I'll get on the other side.
Okay.
Go for it.
Doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
Because of that. Let's see. I think I know what we can do. That's really hard there. Cowbone chop test. Doesn't really budge to that part of the bone very well.
How's the edge looking? I don't see any damage.
Nope. There's chips of bone on there, but no damage that I can see.
Alright. Do you want to see how the knife slices cardboard after all that?
Yeah.
Looks like it's cutting through. I probably should have done a cardboard test before we abused it.
Not doing it super effortlessly, but it is kind of a thick knife.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might not be the best knife for cardboard in
Yeah.
the first place, but as 1055 or 1050 low carbon steel, it's a relatively low wear resistance metal in the first place.
Definitely feels like it's lost some sharpness.
Let's see here. Let's test out the tip. I'm gonna go ahead and stab it in there as hard as you can, and then pry it off to the side. Yep.
It's a rather weak piece of wood.
Maybe try the end grain.
One eye.
Careful with your hand there. Well, so far so good. And if I still looks straight. Good looking tip. Now, the one test I have seen this fail at was someone hammered it in at a 90-degree angle to a tree. Dude said he weighed about 200 plus pounds, and he put his full body weight on the knife. And it held, but once he started bouncing up and down on it, the thing snapped in half.
How far did he have it in?
Can't remember. Between a quarter of the way and halfway in, I think. So we aren't going to go that far with the testing, but we'll do other stuff to just test the blade against, you know, cutting things like what knives do.
This rubber fairly well.
How's it slice the rubber?
Not too bad until it starts to get into the metal parts of the tire, and then it just kind of stops.
Is the blade working alright on it?
The saw?
No, like the edge of the knife.
Oh yeah, that goes in really easily, actually.
Nice.
Until it gets that metal, then it stops.
Understandable.
There's a ring of metal right here.
Alright, this feels like an old paint can lid, but the metal feels heavier and thicker. So, we'll stab it a few times and see how that goes. This is what I figured we could put it on that thing. You can put it on its side if you want. It might be a little safer.
Stab it like this?
Yeah.
That's rusty.
You can give it a few if you want. Lost a little bit of the finish, maybe a hair off the edge, but
Probably won't work. Okay, from this side.
yeah, my guess is probably not.
Not exactly.
Right.
The teeth still look pretty strong.
Alright. Let's give it one more tip test with the vise, maybe. Just kind of. This will probably be our most brutal test of this thing today.
Alright. Put that far in?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go to 45 or?
Wherever you feel comfortable, whatever you might need this knife to do. Looks like we got a permanent bend. Alright, there it is. Now you know. You can't do that much to one of these.
I'm sorry, bud.
Don't be. It's the purpose of the exercise. We see what it can take and what it can't. And,
Didn't
you know,
that.
it's got a long, sort of narrow tip on it. You can't expect it to do too much, and we learned that today. That coupled with the heat treatment of the low carbon steel. I mean, a low carbon blade like that should be able to handle a good amount of bending. But my guess is they hardened it a little harder than its optimal performance range to try and squeeze a little extra edge retention out of it. Because 1050, 1055, like I said, not a lot of wear resistance. So, for myself, I'd give this knife an 8 out of 10 as a survival knife. Because it can handle a good amount of wear, a good amount of abuse, really, to the edge. The saw teeth actually worked alright. And it did seem like you could use a fair amount of prying on it, as long as you're stabbing it into wood or something of the, similar strength, I suppose. we lost the tip. So that's why I don't give it more on the survival knife scale, because what really is important in a survival knife, edge retention, corrosion resistance, be damned. You need something that's not going to fall apart on you. I mean, if you have to sharpen it every 5 minutes because it goes dull, that's better than having to sharpen it every half an hour, but then it breaks. Overall, decent knife. I think it'll fulfill most people's purposes in a knife, but not mine. Josh, do you have any final thoughts for your review?
It just felt really weak when the bending. Like as soon as it started to bend, it just felt like it was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just. I don't think it would have bent back very straight either. When I
Yeah.
brought it back, it just didn't seem like it was gonna be straight, and when I tried to straighten it out, it just snapped.
Should we try putting it in there again? See if the rest of the tip's any stronger?
Do you want to try bending it further?
Sure.
To the saw blade or not to the saw blade?
Yeah, go ahead. My prediction now is that if it breaks, it's going to be near the handle.
Definitely feels really strong like that.
Yeah, I can see a good amount of flex there.
Not exactly any bend to it.
Yeah, looks pretty straight. Well, looks like even if you snap the tip off, you've got yourself a decent working survival knife. Maybe I'll pump it up to 8.7 out of 10 on the survival knife scale. Alright. That just about settles my inquiries. Don't even hardly see marks on it from the vise. Oh, there are a few. Yeah. Alright. I have just one more curiosity. We've properly tried, tribulated, and bested the Glock 81 field knife. Now, just for fun, we're gonna see how it stacks up toe to toe against the Scrapyard Knife Company 1311. You smell that?
Nice, good fire starter.
Holy shit. Both of these got properly abused.
Custom serration.
God damn. Not what I expected at all. This, but not this.
Wow.
I'm disappointed. Well, it goes to show you, don't abuse good things.